Hello and welcome to Armchair Opinion. I am your host Chris, and I had a friend once who considered himself a good driver, and he was a good driver. You put him on a racetrack and he would have sped around that thing better than I ever could. But he always treated the road as though it was a racetrack. So he would tail people's bumpers, flashing his lights to get them out the way so he could speed along the road as fast as he could, thinking he was the best driver, so he could drive on the road as carefully as anybody else, but going twice the speed. And we all see idiots in cars, and we want some instant karma for that person. It's nice when we see them being pulled over by the police, or they lose control of the car maybe and they crash. But how far should that karma against the idiot in that car really go? Well, in the movie Unhinged, that karma goes pretty far. Russell Crowe plays a man who's at the end of his rope. He's hit rock bottom, he's frustrated with life, his life feels meaningless, and he's filled with rage. What he needs is a good therapist. Instead, he decides to focus that rage and project his failings on divorced mum Rachel, played by Karen Pistorius, who he gets into a minor road accident with. Now, in life, I think it's important to recognise crazy. We see videos online at the moment of people acting crazy at the supermarket, in the parking lot, on the road. For whatever reason, things have been building up in that person's life, and at that particular moment, it's spilled over and they're angry and they're acting unreasonable and crazy. And the people around them are engaging with that person. I think we feel we need to succeed in some way in these encounters, to show reason, to show confidence, to not back down in the face of unreasonable aggression. But hey, there is no arguing with crazy. If you see a person who's acting crazy or angry, there is absolutely no shame in walking away from that crazy person. Let them be crazy and do their crazy thing. Water off a duck's back. It doesn't matter to you at all because they're acting crazy for whatever reason. Just walk away. Rachel doesn't walk away from crazy, and as such we're treated to an hour and a half of Russell Crowe trying to think up ways of making her pay in the most brutal way for her crimes against road courtesy. And there's a part of you as an audience who maybe wants a little bit of that karma for Rachel, because she is one of those idiots in a car that you want a little bit of karma on. But maybe that karma goes a little bit too far in this movie. Now, this movie is pretty intense and is surprisingly brutal. Once the action starts, it keeps it up and it doesn't let go until the end credits. Russell Crowe is suitably intimidating in the role. He is fat, sweaty, angry man, and if fat, sweaty, angry Russell Crowe came bursting through my door, well, I'd wonder where his little tugboat was.
Won't you mind your own business, you scrouter? Making movies, making songs and fighting around the world.
But I'd be pretty terrified, I must admit. And he's quite imposing when he needs to be in this movie. And everybody else plays their parts pretty well. The only thing is, occasionally Russell Crowe's American accent is a bit dodgy, mildly distracting in places because couldn't quite place what he was going for there. Other than that, I think he's quite suitable in the role. The movie is also quite cleverly written in that the characters are often utilising information learned from earlier in the movie, so all the little conversations fall quite nicely into place. I do quite like a tight script like that. There were times when the characters were making some dumb decisions that left you mentally shouting at the character for their idiocy, but generally these are pretty forgivable as it does serve to keep the action going. It's obvious that Russell Crowe's character is mentally unstable, and it's mentioned earlier in the credits of the movie about how the increase in underlying mental health issues are leading to an increase in violence and road rage incidents. But other than him popping a few pills and the occasional kind of twitchy eye, they don't really go any further into his mental health issues, and I think there is an opportunity missed for some character development and to explore that theme further. But this isn't really that kind of movie. This is a thriller where morning traffic is this melting pot of frustration and anger ready to boil over, and for this one guy it boils over and we're witnessing the brutal carnage of that. Overall, I found this movie to be rather thrilling. It was pretty intense, surprisingly brutal, a little shallow, but generally quite an entertaining watch. I'm going to give Unhinged a 7.5 out of 10. But of course, I didn't just watch this movie by myself. I went along with my good friend, Jackie Chan. Jackie, what did you think of the movie?
You just hear, then I look, I'm gonna die.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. What do you like when you're sitting at a traffic light and the light goes green and you're distracted? Do you think the person behind you should give you a little courtesy tap on the horn, or do you think they're justified if they give you a big old "get out of the way" smash of the horn? In Japan, they use their horn more for saying sorry and thank you. I quite like the idea of that. Oftentimes I've cut somebody else off and they're looking at me like I'm an idiot, which I am in that situation. And I want to be able to say sorry, but what do? Roll my window down and wave my hand out? Oh, sorry. They're already long gone. So a little tap on the horn to say sorry would be quite nice. Do other countries do that? I don't know. If you like the video, why don't you give that like button a little courtesy tap? And if you want to see more of what I do, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.